Step 3, we want to leverage our nervousness. First, by realizing and comprehending and solidifying within our mind, our body, and our hearts that I'm only nervous because I care, and anything that I care about, I get nervous about. So that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So I shouldn't fear it. And that turns your nervousness into excitement. What's up, world? Welcome to The Movement, where we discuss all things dance, life, and this profound, powerful dance through life. Whether you're a dancer, a little klutzy, or just a lot of curious, this show is all levels friendly, baby. So lace up and let's go. Feels so good to be back in my humble abode. I got this nice soft comforter. Anywho, how's it going? Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in and rock with your boy. I'm Melvin ACHowell. I'm the host, and thank you so much for tuning in to The Movement. Why? Tune into The Movement. Because it's not about the movement. It is about what the move meant, and that's what we're about here. We're about talking about what the move is meaning. What impact is it making on them, on us, on you? So without further ado, let's jump right into this. You're backstage. The lights are set. The announcements have been made. You're getting ready to go on. You're pacing back and forth. Maybe you're fidgeting, playing with your hair. You start to get really, really nervous. You get the nervous poops, you get the bubble guts. You done peed 3 times prior to this moment right before you're about to go on, and now you gotta pee again. You farting, you blowing up backstage. And thoughts keep flowing through your mind. What if? So many what ifs. What if I mess up? What if I fall? What if I forget a move? Oh, what is the move? What's the first move? Oh, what's the first song? All these negative thoughts start flowing through your mind, causing anxiety. Y'all, today our focus is on the lovely, actually not so lovely, mysterious, shows no mercy mistress to us all: performance anxiety. Okay, so I have been performing, dancing for TV shows, big events, conventions, teaching at university since I was 14. This was in 2008. My dance career started in New Jersey, Bloomfield, New Jersey, where I went to high school and middle school as well. And still to this very day, there is not one performance, there is not one single performance that I do where before I go on, I do not experience performance anxiety. It is ruthless and relentless, and performance anxiety is unbiased. It hits everybody, and it hits me every single time, but my performances get better. Let me tell you how this works. Okay, so in short, performance anxiety is when you're about to perform. Now, this can be praise and worship dancing for your church. This can be maybe you're just labbing, you're practicing, you're training with your friends or something, or maybe you're busking, or maybe it's a music video, you're touring, you're teaching or dancing at a convention. Anything where you're performing in front of others and you get flushed and filled with these really high intensity sensations in your gut and emotions, and your mind is flooded with negative thoughts of what ifs, right? And I don't know about y'all, But my performance anxiety does not come with anything less than those, plus the nervous poops. Don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But anytime I'm about to perform, bro, when my guts they just be feeling like, anyways, it be just going crazy. That's performance anxiety. Negative thoughts, you're flushed and filled with negative thoughts of what ifs, and you're filled with these high intensity emotions that make you feel anxious and scared and fearful. And it causes you to bring up these negative thoughts of all the different ways that you can mess up, all the different ways that you'll be judged. And, having these high expectations, not even having high expectations for yourself, because I think we should have high expectations for ourselves. I think we should shoot high, we should aim high, but we should also show grace to ourselves. Yeah, we should show grace. I think those instances where we have high expectations of ourselves because of the expectations that others have for us, reflecting the expectations of ourselves based off of what other people think, say, and do involving us, that's where we get into trouble. So have high expectations, but have high expectations for you because you want to grow and get better. Sidebar, tangent. Anyways, performance anxiety. Okay. Now you may be thinking, all right, but how do I get rid of performance anxiety? Does it ever go away, or is this something I'm just gonna have to live with, deal with? And if so, how do I live with or deal with this? Got some good news in the left hand. I got some bad news in the right hand. Okay, what you want? You want the red pill or the blue pill? Now, I haven't necessarily seen the movie that I'm referencing, so I don't really know what I'm referencing, but I've seen memes. So I'm going to go at this blindly, and I'm going to say that I'm using it properly contextually. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to give you the red pill in the right hand, the bad news, because it's always best to get the good news after the bad news. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Come on now. Bad news is, no matter how much you perform, no matter how many times you perform, no matter how many showings of the same show back to back you do, the performance anxiety does not bid you a farewell at any given point. Now, good news is you can control that performance anxiety and you can keep it at bay. And that's what I do, and I've actually become very, very good at it because my crowds have gotten bigger, my audiences and platforms and stages and opportunities have gotten larger. So I have to be able to leverage this particular skill, or else these opportunities will eat me alive because I won't be able to focus on what I've been training my whole life to achieve up to this very point, because I'll be so focused on all the things that could go wrong and all the things that will go wrong if I stay inside of this mindset. Yep. So you cannot stay with performance anxiety. We have to overcome it. And of course, again, because it doesn't bid you a permanent farewell, it is a circumstantial, is that the word? And that's not the word I'm looking for, but it's where it's a case by case overcoming of, it's a case by case remedy of performance anxiety. That's better. And so let's just jump into the steps. How do we overcome performance anxiety? Okay. And we want it to become natural. So I'm going to give you building blocks, if you will, building blocks, stepping stones, bit by bits that you can practice and focus on. So that way it doesn't feel like a task and an overwhelming task at that. And it's palatable, it's digestible, it's easier to synthesize and to actually apply immediately. Okay. And again, this is something that I use and all of my dancer friends and international choreographer friends use. So here we go. Step 1, building block 1, stepping stone number 1 is breathe. You must breathe. I know sometimes it's hard when you got anxiety. It's hard to breathe. It's hard to breathe intentionally, and it's hard to take deep, slow breaths. I mean, we all breathe. Don't get me wrong. We all breathe when we have this performance anxiety or any anxiety for that matter. But they're short, shallow breaths. And what happens is, I want to use this comparison. It's a little bit extreme, but I want you to just bear with me. Okay, so it's going to be like drowning or suffocating, right? Imagine you have a cinder block chained to your ankle. You don't have the key, and the mafia boss just threw you in a New Jersey river or a lake or something. Okay, you're sinking to the bottom. You know you can't try to breathe, because if you do, instantly it's a wrap, because you're gonna inhale that dirty water, and the stuff inside that water is gonna kill you before you suffocate. So I know, chill. No, but you have to hold your breath, right? What happens whenever you are forced to hold your breath, not when you're intentionally holding your breath? Because think about it, if you hold your breath right now, nothing's gonna happen, because your brain's gonna tell you, all right, bro, you need to go ahead and take your breath before you pass out, and I'm not gonna let that happen. It's just a natural response in our body. But when we're forced into these situations where we have where we would have no control, because it's a hypothetical, right? Ain't nobody drowning. I hope you're not drowning. If you're listening to this right now and you drowning, I need to know what phone you got, because if you're able to listen to podcasts or watch YouTube videos while you underwater, you're really winning, and you're like light years ahead of everybody else. All right, y'all, I'm being a goof. All right, back to it though. So you get thrown into the lake by the mafia boss. You have to hold your breath. What happens is your muscles start to tense up, your heart rate increases, adrenaline starts pumping. All these different mechanisms in the body start to work overtime to try to figure out, oh shoot, how do I get out of this situation? Your mind begins to race faster than ever. How do I get out of this situation? I have to get free, or else I'm gonna die. I have to get free, or else I'm gonna die. And the only thing that you're focused on in that point is, if I don't get free, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And so with performance anxiety, it's kind of that same thing. Whenever you take short, shallow breaths during this performance anxiety phase, it can cause you to burn up so much energy, and you haven't even went on stage yet. You burn up so much energy because your body and your mind are working overtime, thinking about all the negative what ifs. Okay, you might find yourself starting to sweat. Now you got to go to the bathroom. Like I said, even though you've already been to the bathroom multiple times within the last 30 minutes. And so what we need to do is we need to take a deep breath. Whenever you take these breaths, it slows everything down for you naturally. Okay. So it's kind of like an intentional, I'll call it a woke meditation. Not woke as in like third eye woke, but like you're awake. You're not like sitting down crisscross applesauce, eyes closed, double okay signs. You know what I'm saying? You're awake. You're intentionally just taking your time to breathe and focus focus on your breathing. Take your time and focus on your breathing. Okay. Now, step 2, whenever you take the time to focus on your breathing, taking those nice, deep, slow breaths, it allows you to slow your mind. Whenever your mind is racing, you cannot think clearly because too many things are trying to get into your brain, and you're trying to make sense out of too many things at the same time. Okay? It's like another example, because I love examples. Having visuals helps us really like synthesize things, right? So, and I use this in like my dance class teachings as well, because it really works. If there's one piece of hair in the sink, you can wash that piece of hair down the sink easy. But if you got a clump of hair and you try to fit that clump of hair down the sink, you're gonna clog up the sink, and it's gonna cause a bunch of issues, plumbing issues, and you're gonna come out of pocket for that, right? Same thing here. Whenever you're in this performance anxiety phase and You have so many thoughts are racing through your mind, and they're all negative thoughts. They're not even like, oh my gosh, if this goes well, like so and so is out in the audience and they can give me an opportunity. I'm talking like negative thoughts. Like if I mess up, what are they gonna think? And then how's this gonna affect my career, my opportunities, so on and so forth. And let's take it down a notch from career performances. Maybe it's a dance recital, like low risk, low reward. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be high reward because it can be a confidence boost. So let me not say low reward, but it's like low risk opportunities. Or maybe you're just like praise dancing for your church. Okay. But the same thing applies whenever you're so focused on all the things that can go wrong. That's the clump of hair that's trying to fit down the drain, and it's going to cause more things to go wrong. And what happens is whenever you have all these negative thoughts that are clogging up we'll call it your mental drain, it blocks the pathway for all the thoughts you need to come through. It blocks the path of those positive thoughts, the memories of what you choreographed, the memories of the sequence of the music and the vibe that you're going for. You're no longer in character because you're so focused on all the negative things. So what we want to do is we want to keep our mental drain clean and clear. Okay. And the first two steps are how we do that. Deep breaths, slow deep breaths, and slowing our mind. Whenever we slow our mind, we can drop these small pieces of hair in one by one. Actually, I mean, whenever you slow your mind, we're actually doing away with these negative thoughts. And that's going to make sense here on this next step, on step number 3. But we're not even putting these pieces of hair in one by one, right? Whenever we take our deep breath, we slow our thoughts. We're able to then rationalize and go to this next step, step number 3, which is once we breathe, we slow our minds. We're then able to leverage our nervousness. Now, I know for sure you've never heard anything like this before because I just made it up. You're able to leverage your nervousness. Okay, that might pull up a bunch of questions for you like, bro, what are you even talking about? So here's what I'm talking about, bro. So by leverage your nervousness, by leveraging your nervousness, we'll shorten that to say leveraging your nerves. Okay. It's a 2-part. There's a part A, a part B to leveraging your nerves. Okay. Part A of leveraging your nerves is first understanding that you're only nervous because you care, because you're passionate and compassionate about this particular thing, about the dance that you're about to do, about your journey in dance. Okay. Your journey in art, whatever the case may be. And if you're praise worship dancing, your journey with Christ. And so having that realization, that frees up a lot for you already. Okay. Just realizing, plain and clear. And then we're going to go to part B. Realizing you're nervous because you care. Boom. Plain and simple. Just think that. That's the first step after breathing and slowing your mind. Thinking that first thought you want to go through is, okay, I'm nervous, but I'm only nervous because I care. Part B is then turning that nervousness, turning those nerves into excitement versus fear. See, when you have anxious, fearful nerves, it causes those negative thoughts that will clog up your mental drain. What we want to do is we want to turn that into positive nerves, like that anxious, excitement, energized, positive nerves. Okay. Now, how do we do that? Whenever we realize that us being nervous equates to us caring about this opportunity. Okay, let me give you another example. Okay, this example is going to hit it home for you. For this particular step number 3, leveraging your nervousness. Anytime, let's go back to grade school. Okay, we're gonna go back to grade school real quick. I'm talking elementary school, middle school, high school. If you was homeschooled, I don't know what to tell you. But whenever that person that you got a crush on, that you feeling, even if they not liking you like that, anytime they come up, like, you're nervous, but you would associate that with butterflies, right? Not necessarily nervousness, but butterflies, which nervousness, being nervous and having butterflies are the same thing. It's just about how your perspective on that feeling. That feeling is the exact same feeling on the inside. You're nervous about something, you have butterflies about something. It's the same gut feeling. It's just your perspective on it, your perception of it. Okay? Whenever that person that you have a thing for comes up to you, you have butterflies. You're excited. You're like, oh my gosh, what are they gonna say? Do I look cute, girl? Let me get myself ready. Or if you one of the fellas, like, bruh, hold up, I'm gonna put it down. I'm finna spit some game. and so yeah, but whenever someone comes up that you really not feeling, but you don't have any particular feelings or emotions about them, you just don't feel anything, right? They come up, you're not nervous or anything. You're just like, you're neutral. You know that feeling you get when you want to dance and live life to the fullest, but you're paralyzed and you can't bring yourself to move. You can't bring yourself to dance and mingle freely. That feeling of, I must forewarn everyone that I have 2 left feet just to lower the expectations and decrease the chances of complete embarrassment. I know that feeling all too well, because that is exactly who I used to be. Then through dance, I learned how to connect mind and body and to decrease that voice in my head that was so concerned about what others thought about me. I learned to increase the positive language as I spoke to myself and changed the course of my entire life dramatically. I want to help you overcome that same exact thing. Each week, I'll be holding a live class session where you will learn how to become the most confident version of yourself in dance and in life, while being able to ask any questions you have in a community of others just like yourself. Go down to hasdancecamp.co. That's HASdancecamp.co. I'll drop the link down in the description. I look forward to seeing you and building with you. Now let's get back to the show. Right? Could care less about the outcome. So anytime you care about something, you're going to have nerves. Anytime you care about something, you're going to have nerves about that situation or that opportunity or the conversation, the relationship, so on and so forth. If you don't care about it, however, you're not going to have any nerves about it. Okay, so let's flip this world upside down. You have this performance opportunity no matter what it is or on what level it is. And you're going to perform and you just don't feel anything about it. I don't feel any nerves. I don't got the guts. All right, I won't mention guts anymore. Maybe once. I'm a goof. Like, all right, cool. Let's go do it. Like that right there, I'm telling you, it's way better to have the nerves, because if you don't have the nerves, you're not going to perform with nearly as much passion, and it's not going to touch you. See, the most important person you want to impact whenever you perform is yourself. Whenever you impact yourself by the movements that you're doing, then that emotion, that feeling, that vibe that you're giving yourself is going to illuminate the whole room, and it's going to touch other people in that room. Yeah. So, but if you don't care, you're not going to be able to connect to yourself in that way. You're not going to be able to connect to other people in that way, because it's just another performance. Just another praise dance. Glory, hallelujah, hey, Shabbat. Isn't it? So looking at it that way, from that particular perspective of, I only am nervous about the things that I care about, and the things that you care about, in this case, let's say the things that you care about are good things, great things, So the nerves are good because it makes you more meticulous. It makes you pay more attention and be more aware, be more intentional and purposeful with your performance, how you're performing, the story that you're telling, and who you're connecting with, why you're connecting with, and that vibe that you want to give out. Yeah, so let's go back over this. How to overcome performance anxiety. Step 1, you have to take slow, deep, mindful, intentional, purposeful breaths. Step 2, we need to, oh shoot, I forgot what I say step 2 was. Step 1 is breathing. Step 2 is slowing your mind. You want to slow your mind down. If your mind's not slowed down, it's going to be, your mental drain's going to be clogged full of these negative hairs, right? We want to slow our mind down so that way we can remove these hairs, these negative hairs, so to speak, and allow the positive thoughts to pass through our mental drain. Okay. Step 3, we want to leverage our nervousness. First, by realizing and comprehending and solidifying within our mind, our body, and our hearts that I'm only nervous because I care, and anything that I care about, I get nervous about. So that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So I shouldn't fear it. And that turns your nervousness into excitement. Okay, now we're coming to the close here. We got, I think, two more points. So the next point then is, after you've began that process of leveraging your nervousness. Oh yeah, no, this is the last point. You want to then change your perspective and hype yourself up, because this is the home run. This is going to hit the home run for you. See, because you can go through taking your meditative, you're relaxing, your deep breaths. You can slow your mind. You can leverage your nervousness and turn that nervousness into excitement. But if you don't hype yourself up, see, the hype up and the changing of perspective is what puts a cap on it all. It puts a cap on it all. It's like if you have like a Coca-Cola. I don't even drink dark sodas, but it's what comes to mind. If y'all want to sponsor me, hit me up. If you have a Coca-Cola, you shake that John up, you take the cap off, it's wraps. Like, you see the videos where people put Mentos in like Coca-Cola bottles. That's what happens. And you lose all of the good contents, all of the contents of that bottle. You lose because there wasn't a cap on top of it. And we're going to use that same concept here. We filled up our bottle through our mental drain. We filled up our bottle with all these positive reinforcements and these reassuring thoughts. But we didn't hype ourselves up, nor did we change our perspective of the situation, which then means our mental drain, that little button that you can push down sometimes, like in like bathrooms, you can push it down and it clicks and it like allows the sink to fill up with water. And then you push it down again, it allows the water to drain. So what we're doing here is we're not so much worried about shaking it up and it coming back out of the top, the good things. We're worried about the good things inside of our mental drain being contaminated by bad hairs, by the bad things. Okay, so without changing our perspective, it still leaves space and time for negative things to come through our mental drain and just kill that whole process that we took the time to do. We want to change our perspective. And you can even look at it this way: change your perspective by hyping yourself up. Okay? So you don't even have to look at it as two separate things. We want to change our perspective by hyping yourself up. How do you hype yourself up? I'm not talking about like surface level, like, hey, I'm finna kill it. Like that's part of it, but that's not it. That's not all. I'm talking about something that goes deeper. That thing that sticks. That thing that's going to apply pressure. You feel me? So what I always do and always say to myself, like I've been putting on a lot of productions lately and whatnot. One of my biggest ones lately was Black Brilliance. The purpose of Black Brilliance was to illuminate on and just shine light on the beauty of Black people, Black culture, Black history, Black movement, Black dance, Black poetry, and Black artists, just all things Black and beautiful, right? Not meant to focus on anything negative, just focus on the good things and the strengths of being Black and Black people. Okay, now when I got asked to put on a performance, to put on a production, I was given complete freedom of like what it's about and what the layout is, the lighting and all of that good stuff, which is great. Creative freedom is great. But it had to be a minimum of 90 minutes with no intermission, and it was me and one other person. So this production started off as a one-person show. Now I was like, nah, that's wild. 90 minutes. I'm finna get my homegirl Amanda Hoyt, who is here in Asheville. She is a bomb tap dancer and an amazing jazz dancer and choreographer. Oh my gosh, phenomenal. I was like, hit her up. I was like, hey, I'm putting on this production. I need you. She is like, say less, I'm down. She's always down for the performances, no matter how last minute they are or how ambitious they are. And it was a success. Sold out hundreds of seats. We even had to open up, I don't know what they're called, the top tier seats up there and the box seats, because everything else was sold out. It was great. But then we had like one of our old students too perform with us. So it was a 3-person show for 90 minutes. And that was a lot. I was backstage before going on, and I started like dealing with this performance anxiety, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, it's sold out. There's hella people. Like friends, family are there, but also people that I don't know who want to see an amazing show. And what if I get tired? What if I get winded? I wasn't so much worried about messing up as I was like just getting winded from all the dancing I was about to be doing. But then as I was pacing and I noticed that my mental drain was getting clogged, I was like, hold up. I was like, pause. Let's check ourselves right here. Because I'm here for a reason. I'm not just here just because they picked some random guy in Asheville and was like, hey, you want to put on a show? We're going to pay you to put this show on. Like, no. I was given this opportunity on this large platform in front of all these people because I've been working my whole life for this. Like, I was literally born for this. I'm meant for this. Like, what am I even scared of? What am I fearing? What am I even talking about? Like this was an opportunity that by the grace of God, like I created through me perfecting the gift that I was blessed with. You feel me? So like hype yourself up in that way, something that is deep and that infiltrates the barriers of your heart and your soul. And that's the thing that's going to apply pressure. Pop the cap on that or press down the cap on that mental drain so nothing can flood in that's negative. And that is what floods, that it washes away, it blocks out your performance anxiety. Yeah, so let me go through this again really quickly. So you have performance anxiety. You're like, okay, I can't do this. I can't afford to have performance anxiety right now. I don't want to have performance anxiety. I want to be able to enjoy the whole process through and through. So take a deep breath, deep, slow breaths. Slow your mind, slow your thoughts. Leverage your nervousness by first realizing that I'm only nervous because I'm I care about this opportunity and I'm passionate about it. And then through that realization, turn that into excitement. Like, yeah, I am excited about this. Like, I care about this. I'm passionate about this. And then from there, we're going to hype ourselves up, which is going to then change our whole perspective of the whole situation, the whole opportunity. But after the excitement and leveraging our nervousness, we're like, hold up. Why was I even fearful in the first place? Like, I'm meant for this. I am on purpose. I am on purpose. I'm in my purpose, on my path. Like, these people are here to see me because I am who I am, and I've been working the way I have been working to get to where I am today. And that there is the recipe to overcoming performance anxiety. And now the more you perform, the more you practice this. Even if you want to practice this by dancing in front of some friends, maybe you and some friends go out dancing or something. No matter where it is or what type of music or what type of dancing, or it could even be karaoke. Maybe you go to do karaoke and you mix in a little bit of dancing or whatever. You can practice this on a small scale because it's just like any other muscle. When you go to the gym, you do curls, your biceps grow, so on and so forth. I know there's more math to that, more mechanics, so on and so forth, but just bear with me. Like any muscle, it has to be exercised. Okay, it has to be worked out. So practice this on a small scale. Breathe, slow your mind, leverage your nerves, hype yourself up on a deep, intimate, personal, profound level. And that, my friends, will make it easier for you over time to overcome performance anxiety. So maybe it'll take you like 10 minutes the first time to overcome it before you perform. Before you know it, you're going to be overcoming it within like 10 seconds. You start to recognize like, oh, I'm feeling nervous. Like, let me go ahead and nip this in the butt. And that right there, y'all, that's it. That's the key. And those are your building blocks. I wanted to lay it out for you simple today, because I know sometimes, like, if it's worded too complex, it just complicates the whole situation, right? We need something that's palatable and easy to synthesize. And so breathe, slow your mind, realize that nerves equals caring. Leverage that and turn that into excitement, and then hype yourself up to put a cap in it. And that's all I got for you today. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. This is your boy, Melvin ACHowell, dancer, choreographer, director, playwright, so on and so forth. God-fearing. I love you. Thank you for being here. And we're out. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Movement. Why? Because it's not about the movement. It is about what the move meant. Catch us every Wednesday at noon, right here, every Wednesday. Right here at noon, every Wednesday. Until next time, stay blessed.